Hey everyone, this is Mayur. Welcome to ML Works. In this video, we'll be quickly implementing or quickly look through Gemma model with Hugging Face. This was a recent model which was published by Google, and the Gemma's architecture is similar to Gemini model. Gemini is a rival of what you call it GPT models from Google's. Okay, the Gemma model comes in two variants. It has 7 billion based model, and there is a 2 billion based parameter model, and then there is also a variant of it which is an instruct model which is comes from the Gemma based models. Okay, so what we'll do is today we'll try to implement how to load this particular model through Hugging Face and how to start using it. Okay, so quickly let's install all the packages that are required. This transformer, bits and bytes, and accelerate, these three models are required. And one thing to note here is the model size, right? It is around 18 GB for 7 billion parameters. So what it requires is sometimes you need to perform some type of quantization technique or flash attention mechanism can be applied to reduce the size of the model and to load the model in your environment. So in this case, I'm loading it on Google Colab, which has T4 Tesla GPU, which is around 16 GB of memory is available. Now, since the model requires 18 GB, so what we'll do is we'll apply some kind of quantization here by default, and it will reduce the size of the model, and we can able to load it in this particular environment. Now we have installed the packages. Next, we have to log in into Hugging Face Hub, and such that we can get the access to these models. So for that, we have to go to Hugging Face, get this particular token, which will be available under settings and access token. And after the token is we got the token, we log in. So once this is done, there is also another license that needs to be acknowledged, which will be given by Google, and you can find that particular license under Gemma model card. Okay, and here you will be seeing it under model card, acknowledging the license, and you will get a form, and there you have to again agree to that particular license, and then you can start using it. So this is, I have already acknowledged the license, so I'm able to access the model here. So after logging in, you should also do the acknowledgement of license under model card in Hugging Face. Once that is done, we import the packages that are required, the auto tokenizer and the pipeline under transformers, and then torch, which is the PyTorch model. So here I am trying to use 7 billion instruction model, which is taken from or built on top of Gemma 7 billion base model. So that is done. So here we have something called as tokenizer from pre-trained. Okay, this particular model has some pre-processing step, which is again available here. If you try to pull it from your auto tokenizer from pre-trained model, an auto tokenizer model will be loaded here. Okay, and then we create a pipeline. The task we are trying to do is text generation. Again, the model we want to use is Gemma 7 billion instruction model, and then we want the model to be having floating type 16, and then quantization we want to apply is load in 4 bits, and this will reduce the size of the model and it will help us in loading the model in particular environment. Now this is quite a huge model, so I have already loaded it. Now what we'll do is we'll directly apply it here, okay, in the next step. If it works like that, then we can do it. Okay, let me just run this one, okay, where I have the prompt and I'm just passing it to the tokenizer, and that prompt is again then passed to the model. Let me run this particular model. So it is looking for the tokenizer attribute. Okay, let me run this first. So the reason why I was not doing this is because this pipeline takes quite some time, because the model is huge and the checkpoint, each checkpoint takes around 22 to 24 seconds, and it takes around 1.5 minutes to load the model itself. Okay, that's why I was not running it again. Let's see how long it takes now. Let's wait for it. So it took 24 seconds. So while this is happening, let me go to the performance benchmark, right? So there are so many different large language models under 7 billion parameters. So we have Gemma, then LLM, then Phi2, Mistral, and Llama 2. Now, all these models, if you compare, all are 7 billion parameters, and the performance of Gemma 2 is quite there is a quite gap between each of these models, right? Its performance is a lot better compared to other 7 billion based large language models. So this is quite good. But when you compare it with Llama to 70 billion parameters based model, the performance of 70 billion is little better than Gemma 7 billion parameters. But it is 10x greater than what Gemma model, so that's why the performance is better. But when it comes to Gemma 2 billion parameter model, it is still underperforms compared to other models, right? It is not performing well. So we have loaded the model here. Let me run this cell again. Let's see if it works. So it has went here. Prompt is done. The output we got. So the prompt was we are sending. We as the user. Okay, our role is user, and the content what we are sending is who are you? Please the answer in pirate speak. Avasmi Hearties, I am a digital buccaneer ready to pillage the high seas of information. Prepare for a storm of knowledge. Me Hearty. So this is the response that was provided by this particular model. Now let me change the prompt. Mm, who is Obama? So let's see what it tells, right? Uh, so these are, if you look at these parameters, these are the parameters which are used for what tweaking or hyperparameters of the LLMs. Okay, the way it generates the result, it can be controlled by these settings. So Obama is the 44th president of the United States of America, born in 1961. So we got a good response here. So this is one thing. There are a bunch of things that you can do. Okay, what you can do is you can just remove these IT. You can load the base model, or you can do 2B, and you can download or use the 2 billion parameter model. Okay, and as part of when it comes to optimization rate, since it requires quite a compute intensive system, what you can do is you can apply different optimization techniques like flash attention by changing these parameters inside these attention implementation. Okay, and you can also modify the quantization techniques and also use the different floating point parameters as well. So this is just the basics of how to get started with Gemma model using Hugging Face. With this, I'll just stop the video and you can go and experiment with these models as well. Thank you so much.